Hey, it's been really crazy not here at my house. For one, we've been having tornadoes and stuff all day long, and so that really sucks. And they were like all in our town, and we were really scared. And like I've only been through a tornado once, but I was like too young. I don't remember. My mom tells me I've been through them, but I don't remember being in it and what it was like. But like outside, it was really scary. And then like we picked up hail. We walked out there, and the hail was like it could, and like I'm not even exaggerating. It could fit in the palm of my hand. The hail could. It was really bad, but it passed over, and nothing too dramatic besides the hail and just a lot of wind and rain. That was about it. Um, but yeah, and then okay, like my uncle Steven, he's 18. He's my mom's brother. He's been living with us. I think I've told y'all that before. But anyways, yeah, he's been living with us, and I cannot stand him. Me and him have gotten into screaming matches before, just because we're okay. We're both the same age, okay, and I take care of my stuff. I can wake myself up in the morning. I know to take a shower when I need to take a shower. I know how to do stuff. And we have to tell him to take a shower. He doesn't clean up around the house. You would think, like, my grandma kicked him out and he was living on the streets and we took him into our home. You would think that if someone offers their home to you, you would do everything. Like, I mean, like, you would want to help out as much. Like, whenever I moved out of my mom's house and I lived with my youth pastor, I did everything. Like, I was grateful to live there. And so if they ever asked me to clean up something, I didn't care. I didn't talk back at all. I was like, oh yeah, sure, I don't care. You're giving me a place to stay. I don't mind. You'd think he'd be like that, but no. And so things have already been tense with him or whatever, because my little sister Alicia, she's real tiny and he's a real big dude. And he's already jumped up on her once. Like, there was this one time they were arguing back and forth or whatever, and he like jumped off the couch and he got all in her face and like acting like he was gonna hit her, and then he just walked out and then left. And he's walked out a lot of times, but he always comes back like an hour later or whatever. I guess he just goes and cools off and then comes back. And well, tonight we're all sitting on the couch or whatever, and since I don't go to school no more, I've been home all day. Well, the second Steven got home, he was on the couch and went to sleep. And from about 4:50 when he got home all the way to 9:30, he has been asleep. He has not done not one thing today. And I'm not saying he has to get up and be busy. It's okay to take a nap, who cares? But at 9:30 when my mom gets home, she expects all the chores to be done and dinner to be cooked. And every night it's like that. And I don't know why he thinks he has some exception, but he has responsibilities around this house too. He's not a guest anymore. He lived here. And well, he was asleep, and my mom comes home, and we've been trying to make him up all day, and we just forgot. We just like whatever. Well, my little sister Alicia got home, and she was pissed because my mom was mad at her and she didn't do her chores. And she was like, well, did Steven do his chores? And I was like, no, he's been asleep all day, sit on the couch. And so Alicia was like, Steven, get up. And we knew he was awake because right before Alicia walked in, he was talking to me and my other sister. And he was just still laying there. And she walked over to him. She was like trying to wake him up. And he had covers on him. She pulled the covers off him. And she wasn't hitting him, she was just shaking his leg. And she was like, Steven, come on, get up. You need to do chores, you have to do stuff around this house too, blah, 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 blah. And she just kept shaking his leg, and he was like, shake my leg one more time. And so she shook it again, which it all happened like in like slow motion. Like he said that she shook his leg one more time, and he just swung his leg out and just kicked her, and then grabbed her by her chest, like right here under her shirt, and like he swung her like she was a rag doll, and just took her and just swung his hand like that and just swung her across the couch. And me and Tina were sitting right there, and the second I saw him kick her, me and Tina jumped up, and with my left hand I just had a hold of his ear, and then with my right hand I'm just sitting there just with the palm of my fist just beating his face in. And Tina was, I don't even know what Tina was doing. She said she was holding him down. I wasn't even looking. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. I'm screaming at my mom, to tell her to cook, because they were all in the room. My mom and Jason and all them, they're all in the room, and so I'm screaming and screaming. I'm just steadily just beating his face in. And then finally my mom comes in, and my mom came in, and I backed off, and then Jason starts screaming and yelling. He's like, "Get out of this house!" And he leaves. And then Robert comes over, and Stephen walked just across the little street, and there's like there's all these buildings, and you could sit up against the buildings, and he just squatted down and sat in the buildings, or sat by the buildings. And well, Robert, he's a family friend, and he's this like big black guy, and he like treats us like we're his own kids. Like he protects us like he's our big brother. And my mom called him, and he came over, and him, Jason, and Matt all walk over there to him, and my mom's freaking out. We're all freaking out because we don't know what they're gonna do. All of a sudden, you hear him yelling, and all of a sudden, and Stephen's like squatted down on the ground, and you just see Robert pull his arm back and just punch the crap out of Stephen, and all you hear is just like a smack. Like, oh my god, it was crazy. And you just see Stephen fall over, and he was just sitting there. And then I didn't see nothing else after that. And then I saw them all walk back. And all Robert said, he said that he was like, he was like, you think it's cool hitting girls? You think it's cool hitting your little nieces? And he said that Stephen said no. And he was like, want to see what it feels like? Bam! And it just hit him. And I was like, oh my god, like what's going on? This is crazy. So it's been a really crazy night. And so we're taking it back to Irving. And I've been waiting ever since we got into that screaming match on the porch the last time that we, got into it. I've just been wanting an excuse to hit him, and I got to take all my anger out whenever I was just beating his face in. Like, oh my gosh, I've never gotten into a fight before ever, and it felt so good to punch a person. Like, I feel bad for saying that, but like it did, like especially someone I hate. Just, oh, I don't even know how to explain it. It was freaking awesome. And I know he's my family and everything, but Alicia's my little sister, and she weighs like 100 pounds. She's like a stick, and he weighs like 300 pounds. And I've been telling my mom, ever since he's moved in, I'm like, one day I'm not going to be here, my Tina's not going to be here, or either my parents are going to be here, and they're going to get into it, and he's going to go off on her. And I said, and then what? We're not going to be here to protect her. She can't protect herself against him. And so my mom packed up. She put all of his stuff in a trash bag and got his guitar case and threw it out on the porch. And whenever the storm was happening, he was still outside, so they went over there and they made him sit in the car because they didn't want him out there. They didn't want him in our house. Oh, my throat's going out. I was yelling so much tonight. They didn't want him in our house, but they didn't want him sitting outside, in the rain, so they made him sit in the car. And my mom's taking him home in the morning. He's taking him back. I don't know where she's gonna take him because my grandma ain't gonna take him back. So I guess she's gonna go drop him off in Irving where he came from. So I don't know. Yeah. So it's been a crazy night at this house. Other than that, this morning I had cap and gown pictures, and it was really cool. It was the first time I've seen everyone in their cap and gowns, and it made it feel real to see everybody in their all dressed up and in their cap and gowns and like the real thing. So it was pretty cool. And we got our individual pictures, and then I freaking lost my tassel while I was there. And thank God, whenever I went back to go look for it, I saw my friend Andrea, and she said she had an extra one she'd give me, so that's good. And then tomorrow at 9, we have graduation practice, so we'll see how that goes. Whew. Okay. Well, I'm probably going to Skype Kyle, or maybe not. His internet's acting retarded, and it's not working. And I really wanted to Skype him because I have all this juicy drama that I have to tell him. And he likes hearing about it. So hopefully I'll talk to him. If not, I'm just going to go to bed. Okay. Thanks for listening. Bye.